Welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry for all this mess, but I'm trying to embrace my hair a little bit more this year. But I wanted to definitely say Happy New Year's, and I hope you guys a lot of success this year and all the years to come. But if you guys are interested in this look right here, please keep on watching. So we're going to start by concealing our eyelids, and I've used the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and the Brow and Eye Highlighters by Milani, and we're just going to go ahead and blend. Then I'm going to set that with the RImmel Translucent Powder. Now moving on to the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, I'm using Honey Butter, and I'm placing that on my crease, and that's going to work as a transition shade. And using the same palette, I am going into Heaven, and I'm placing that on my brow bone. Then I'm getting a fluffy brush and then just blending all those both together. Now I'm going into the Tartelette in the Bloom palette by Tarte, and I am using Sweetheart, and I'm placing that really all over my eyelid, and I went into that shade about 2 to 3 times just to get the shade that I wanted. And going back into the Natural Matte palette, I'm going into Lace Teddy and placing that on my eyelid, and then I used a fluffy brush just to blend those both shades together. And going back to the Tartelette palette, I'm going into Funny Girl and placing that on my eyelid. I'm not really quite sure why I used this shade. I guess because I was trying to get some shimmer in it, but I ended up going back to Sweetheart and placing that on top. But I grabbed a fluffy brush and just blended all those both together. Now I'm going into Espresso, and I'm setting that on the outer V portion of my eyelid. And guys, I did go into this shade about 3 to 4 times, but I managed to keep it very soft just because I wanted to keep this eye look very natural. And just like I had mentioned just a second ago, I went back here with Sweetheart and placed that on top of the shimmery shade. Of course, I used then the same brush that I had used for my crease, and then just blended all those both together. Now going into my NYX Matte Liquid Liner, I'm starting that off on the outer corner of my eye, going towards your eyebrow, and then connecting it, going halfway on my top lash line, and then shading it all in. Now going into my favorite mascara, they are Real Mascara by Benefit. I'm just coating my lashes with them. Now to prime my face, I'm using this Hangover RX primer, and then just setting that all over my face. Now I'm going into my Fit Me concealer and then just dotting it all on my imperfections, and then of course grabbing the same Infallible Pro Matte foundation that I always use, and then just blending that all in together with my beauty blender. It's actually my damp beauty blender, so your beauty blender has to be wet. Now I am dotting this Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer on my under eye, and then just getting my Fit Me concealer and just concealing the usual places where I usually conceal, like of course my under eye, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. And again, going back with the damp beauty blender and then just blending it all in together, of course. And of course, to set that, I'm using my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and I'm baking my under eye, and whatever's left over on that beauty blender, I'm just putting that all over the other places that I had concealed. And I had applied my lashes and my eyebrows off camera, and then I will be listing what the products that I used down below. And then my eyelash was playing me so hard. I wasn't sure, but I went ahead and dusted off that bake. And so the reason why I think that lash was playing me so hard was because I think I had let the glue dry a lot longer than I should have. But whenever I went ahead and applied it, it looked great. So that's why I kept on doing like the what the fuck face. But when I realized the inner portion of the lash was completely dried, so I had to go back in and then like apply more glue. But like for real though, what the fuck, bro? And I was contouring my face with the Kat Von D contour kit, and I was just contouring the temples of my cheeks, down the sides of my nose, and the hollow of my cheeks, and then just on the bottom jaw area. And now to blend that contour out, I'm using this Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo, and I'm just grabbing the bottom shade and bronzing my face with that shade. And I'm going into like back of the places where I really had contoured, just to blend all those harsh lines out. Now going into the Tartelette palette, I'm going into Sweetheart again and just setting that on the bottom lash line. And then going into Espresso and putting that on the outer corner of my lash line. Then going into, of course, my mascara and then just coating my bottom lashes. And then taking my Luminoso by Milani blush and setting that on the apples of my cheeks. Now to the glow kit, I am going to just spray my face with the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. And then I'm going into Mimosa and Crushed Pearl and then setting that on the highest point of my cheeks. And then also highlighting my forehead, my Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, and I'm also just dotting a little dot on the tip of my nose. Also grabbing Crushed Pearl and putting that on the inner corner of my eyes, as well as my brow bone. And for the lips, I went in with the liquid lipsticks by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I used Soft Lilac at first, and then used Naked on top. And that was pretty much for the lips. And that pretty much does it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope you guys have a good one.